With us now is Brandon Daniels, CEO of the firm Exiger, AI supply chain firm. So if you want to explain big picture for us, China, okay? I said you're a supply chain firm. When all this is said and done, how are things going to be different, right, for the U.S. and for China? Like, what's going to change here?
Well, Connell, I want to take a step back and just talk about the EU because you had Marty Latz on a little earlier.
Yeah, Marty Latz at the top of the hour. Yep.
And look, I think he's dead wrong.
Okay.
The fact is that 15% tariff deal, it also comes with the EU opening some of its biggest markets to us that have been closed for decades. I mean, if you look at the reciprocal tariff on, for instance, autos, they went from 10% to 2.5%.
Okay.
Like, we just opened up.
So when you say dead wrong, when he says long term, it's not going to play out favorably. You think the opposite,
right.
even though, but there are some details we don't know about the tech stuff and other things. But you think long term, it's set up for a framework.
Here's the thing, there are always going to be details that are going to be iterative, and with China, I'm telling you, it's going to be iterative. Whatever we strike in the first case is going to have to go through multiple 232s and 301 investigations in order to get something that is going to be real. But in terms of what we're going to do with China, if it looks at all like what we just did with the EU, I would say it could be another big win, because the EU, what they did is they carved out aircraft and aircraft parts. They carved out selected APIs that we require. They carved out the semiconductor tools, and then they opened up the EU markets.
So is China comparable? Everyone said, well, China's much different than the EU, but you're saying you could have how could you structure a deal that's a win with China then? What would, big picture, like what would the keys be there?
Look, I mean, first of all, what you'd be doing is you'd be taking the things that we don't want to make, the things that are commodity, the things that we can't, build through automation, the things that we talked about would be the things that only China produces, like these magnets, some of these critical minerals areas that we absolutely need and we want to see coming into our industry. And what you'd have in response is an opening up of the market for our technology, our AI, our chips, our autos.
Right. NVIDIA and everybody else. Yeah.
Everybody, it slams on the U.S. for decoupling from China. Let's be honest. Over the last 30 years, every time we have tried to rebalance trade, China has decoupled from us. It doesn't matter if it's with steel or it's been with lithium or it's been with photovoltaics, whatever it is. They've just decimated our markets by decoupling from us. And so if we can rebalance and actually get them starting to buy from us, and then those factories, those plants not buying from inside of China locations,
right? I
mean, it would be a game changer. But right now, where it is untenable.
I'm sorry we took so long to get you on. You were chomping at the bit saying, come on, Marty Latz, you're wrong. Then you had to sit through and wait, but we appreciate you doing it, and we'll keep the discussion going because we love hearing all sides. Thank you, Brandon. It's always good to have you on.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.